check my connection here, make sure that we're actually streaming. Okay, we're up and going. So welcome everybody to today's episode. I've got with me Connor Williams, who's the residential manager at the Ashton Service Group. Connor, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, awesome, man. I'm really happy to connect. For the viewers, to give them a little bit of context, I met Connor a little while ago and actually got to go in and see a little bit of their operation at Ashton, and we had a good chat and connected. And so I thought, you know what, let's get Connor in for an interview here, kind of hear what Ashton is up to, and we're going to really focus our talk on talking kind of about innovations during COVID-19 here. So we'll dive in here, and as always, guys, feel free to ask any questions at all, and we'll kind of take them live on the fly here. So Connor, can you kind of dive in, get us started with a framework, tell us what Ashton is and what services you guys provide?
Sure. Yeah, we're a plumbing, heating, air conditioning company out of Richmond, BC. Started by my parents in 1987. We're predominantly commercial plumbing service company for most of those years. And my dad had always wanted to get into the home services side of things. There's a lot that attracted him to it, but he just never really got it off the ground, never had a real champion for it within the business. So in 2012, we had found a guy named Ron Sim who had a lot of experience running home service businesses, and he helped us get this division off the ground. So I work in that division, look after that division now, but we have another, I guess 2/3 of our company that does new construction, plumbing, and mechanical services, and then we have a division that does strata work. So they do a lot of multifamily maintenance. We have over 350 buildings under contract right now, and about 25 technicians that just do strata maintenance, demand service. So
Wow.
Fairly large company. We have 80 employees right now, and and growing.
Man, that's amazing. So you got kind of a triangle going on. You got the strata work, you got the commercial sector with new installs, and then you got this whole in-home service division. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, so they operate independently of each other, but we're able to share resources. So not all the time is construction super busy, and not all the time is residential super busy. They have seasonality to them. So we're able to share resources. I love specialization. I wish we would specialize in one particular thing, but at a time like this, I feel blessed that we're so diversified that we can move our resources around. It's been able to really help us keep guys employed because we are so diverse.
Yeah, man. I feel like at a time like this where the economy's hurting, if you have kind of multiple services, multiple homes you could kind of group people to or bump and slide people, you're going to be in a really powerful position here.
Yeah, no, we've seen that. We've seen that over the years. 2008 didn't really affect us all that much. We were able to just keep going. Service is fairly recession proof. I mean, you feel the effects of it, people that have less disposable income, but for the most part, there's still emergencies that happen. We've been given title as an essential service, so we're able to keep providing our services. So yeah, it's good to have diversity.
That's awesome, man. One thing I really admire about you guys is really like the quality of service you guys provide. I know, we have our crews recommending you guys when our jobs are done to our clients, and literally doing a search on you guys on Google, I was like, my goodness, these guys have like 500 Google reviews and, really high ratings. So I think it is really like a strong testament to what you guys are doing too, providing a high level of quality service, which I think it's not so common always in today's economy with respects to home services.
No, I thank you. It's a nice compliment, and we take pride in having a lot of reviews and a lot of good quality reviews. That's something that when you're in a residential home service market, you can't treat it like it's transactional. It has to be something that you're very intentional about making sure that person wants to use you again, because the repeat business is what's going to keep you around. And so we focus on the reviews, and our guys focus on it, and it creates perpetual business for us.
Yeah, you're winning the baseball game hitting singles rather than always just going for the home run. I think that's the way to do it. So, before we jump into COVID, Connor, what is it you like about the home service industry? If you had to kind of pick one or two things, what's something that you really like about it?
Yeah, so the first thing that I really like is there's very little accounts receivable. So from a business model perspective, it's excellent because you can get paid same day. One of the troubling parts of dealing with new construction or commercial is your payables can run you 120 days sometimes, and you don't know when they're going to come. So having that control, that financial control, the predictability of when the cash is going to come is very, very key for us. The other thing I like about it is it's fairly scalable, in the sense that the systems can be repeated and learned. It's easier to train, and there's an intellectual property type value to a system that's created as opposed to new construction. It's a little bit different in that sense. So I enjoy that aspect of it. Yeah, and the other thing is, I feel like it's not easy, but it's easier to create resale value for a business in a residential market, because you're able to show over the years all the repeat customers that you've generated. Whereas sometimes with a new construction business, you're basically you're only as good as your last job, and so there's. I'm not interested in selling our business, but it is something that's appealing to me, is that it creates a lot of value by having that repeat business.
Yeah. Do you guys run into any, DIY, like people like, oh, you know what, I'll deal with my own plumbing or my own HVAC, or do you run into that much at all ever in quoting, or?
Sometimes, mainly when we go back to fix it after they try to do it themselves. There's a bit of that goes on. For the most part, I don't like to encourage people to do that with gas and refrigeration stuff. But yeah, we do run into it from time to time. Not a ton though.
Yeah, I think it's probably an industry, I think, where people see the level of expertise and professionalism, contrasting to what we're in with gutter cleaning, window cleaning. Homeowners think, oh, I can, jerry rig that, do it myself, albeit their process may not be as good. But I think when it comes to the higher specialty industries, there's probably a little bit more of a barrier to someone thinking they could go, take it on themselves.
Yeah, and a lot of equipment required. Like, you see like the odd homeowner, they'll put together, faucets themselves or toilets themselves, and they'll do a good job, and there won't be any issues. But it's a little bit more difficult when you've got like a blocked sewer line where you may have a blockage that's 40 feet down. Like the snake you rent from Home Depot or wherever you're getting it from is probably not going to work. And there's probably a reason why it's backing up that you're not going to be able to figure out without a camera. So you're definitely right. The barrier to entry is a little bit higher.
Yeah, fair enough. So diving into our new economy as we know it now with COVID-19, I've prepared a few questions for Connor here. So we're going to kind of, rock through these questions and try get some learning here for the listeners. So Connor, you said off the top of the call, you guys are managing to stay busy with your clients. What would you say, like, how are you marketing to your clients during this time? Have you changed anything with your brand messaging, or how are you getting the word out? You said you guys are deemed essential, which is amazing, and, full steam ahead. So how are you marketing right now?
Yeah, so the initial knee-jerk reaction is to just cut everything. But we realized that wasn't a good strategy. I think now is actually a good time to advertise. You can negotiate a little bit better with your vendors right now. We're going to be doing a mail out coming up, and Canada Post is a little bit more flexible. The companies that are putting the mailers together are more flexible. So right now is actually a really good time to be negotiating with your vendors that you're doing your advertising through. But to answer your question, what we started with was we have a large customer list. So we have over 1,500 members that pay us monthly to be part of our membership program, which is the lifeblood of our business. And we're blessed to have these people. We love them. We called them first. So we had our inside staff. The call volume had dropped, obviously, so they had a little bit more time on their hands to make some outbound calls. And the message was simple: we're here, we're open, we're taking measures to protect you and our technicians if the need arises, and sort of almost asking for their help in a sense. That we're here if they need us. And a lot of people took us up on it and said, yeah, you know what, let's do that boiler tune-up that we haven't done yet this year. Let's inspect the sewer camera, or let's get the AC ready for the summer. So that's been positive. And then over time, people have remembered those phone calls, and they've been calling because they've been, staring at their kitchen faucet in quarantine for the last 2 weeks going, I'm tired of this thing. Let's get something new in here. So the call volume from our own customer base has been really strong. And that's one of the things I really love about this business, is that we can rely on that repeat business. Those people are great to us. The other things that we did, we created some video content that we wanted to get on our website. If people were looking for our service, I wanted them to come to our site and say, okay, what are these people doing to protect my family when they come into my home? And if they went to any of my competitors' websites and they felt more safe with my competitors, they were going to go there. And I couldn't risk that at a time like this. I need every single call I can get because I don't want to lay anybody off. So we created videos around contactless service calls, and we created videos just showing that we were there still and that we were willing to be there. And we created content around what precautions we were taking, what kind of personal protective equipment we were using, the screening questions that we were asking people on the phone. And seems to be, I don't know how much it's moved the needle, but if it meant that, even 10 customers came to us instead of somebody else because they felt more comfortable based on the content they were seeing, then I feel like we won. Yeah,
man, that's huge. I mean, I'll link to that video there you're talking about with the contactless cleaning or contactless service calls. Sorry. I think that's really a good initiative. It's funny, the first 2-3 weeks after COVID, I would say 70% of our calls were like, the first question was, are you guys still open? And I think as service business owners, just what you said, providing that messaging on social channels, your website, your call scripts in your office, like, yeah, we're still opening. We're still open. We'd love to take your call. Love to, come be of service however we can help. I think you hit the nail on the head there. And with regards to marketing, I think now is really a time. All marketing really is, I think, is communication, and now is the time to dial that up. I think what you said, don't hack your marketing spend now. I think competitors are probably doing that. I think now's the time to maintain, if not maybe even increase. Tough to say.
Yeah, no, we're not done with our marketing spending. We've got some things in the works. We put some campaigns on hold because we thought they were maybe not the right time. Some certain deals that we were going to be offering. We just thought this might be a little insensitive at this time. But people are starting to come around, and we're starting to see more people buy. And so I think we're gonna move ahead with some of the initiatives we had planned. And I'm glad we waited because, like I was saying before, you're able to negotiate a little bit better right now. So your dollar's going a little bit farther, maybe getting more impressions than you would have before. And so, I'm excited about that.
Plus, with the quarantine, like, we've noticed our Facebook ads, our impressions are going way up, because I just logically think you're sitting at your home in quarantine, you're scrolling your phone, like you stop at that ad, oh, that catches my attention, professional looking technician, get your whatever taken care of at your house. And what you said prior to, people are staring at that same problem they've had, and they've always been too busy to call someone. Now is like the perfect time, right?
Yeah, well, in our business too, the more people are at home and the more they're using their stuff, the more it breaks. So
Yeah.
everybody's at home. So
Yeah.
the plumbing demand has been really strong in Vancouver, and it's unfortunate some of our competitors weren't able to keep going. They've had to lay people off, and just haven't been able to keep moving. And so we've seen a fairly steady increase in demand and availability of leads through Google. As a result.
That's great. So you mentioned, Connor, safe work procedures you guys have revised a little bit. Can you talk to us maybe on a few things that Ashton's changed? So if you're, say, coming into my home today, how will I know me and my family are safe with your crew coming in?
Yeah, so one of the things that I mentioned before is we are offering a contactless service call. It's something that's optional for our customers. We're not mandating it or making our guys do it on every call, but it is something that's available to the homeowner. And what that would look like is you would leave an access point open for us, and you would get everybody out of the house into an area of the house where we wouldn't be working, and we would give you all of our quotations virtually. So we would either do it over the phone, or if you had FaceTime, we would communicate with you that way and email you the options, email you the invoices, take care of credit card payment over the phone. So that's one option. The other thing that's not optional is we're requiring our technicians. This is something we just rolled out this week. So we're using these bankers boxes with our logo on it. And we wanted to make sure they were clear so that homeowners could see all the stuff that we were putting into it. So we're using all-purpose cleaner. We've got some industrial grade stuff from our friends over at Parallel 49 that have been producing alcohol, excess ethanol.
Yep.
We've got hand sanitizer. So we want to make sure that we're offering that to the homeowner. We've got gloves. Each guy carries a box of these gloves, and we offer these to the homeowner as well when we come inside. The homeowner's welcome to any of the PPE that we have. So if they feel more comfortable, if they don't have a mask, we can give them a surgical mask. We've got loads of surgical masks. We have a few of the N95s, but I didn't really feel like buying too many of them because I wanted to make sure those went to the right places, healthcare workers. But we've got a few for our guys, and then got eye protection, obviously. Shoe covers, another thing that we're using. We always use shoe covers, but right now it makes sense to definitely be wearing shoe covers. I bought a lot of Tyvek suits, so the hazmat suits. We're reserving that for more sump pump situations or installations where guys might be crawling all over each other and they're not able to keep their physical distance. Those guys are also wearing respirators as well when they get into situations like that. We have face shields on order. They're like everything keeps getting rerouted whenever you place an order for something. So but we're doing what we can. We're getting as much PPE as we possibly can. I just ordered 3 ozone machines as well. So
3 ozone machines. What's that? Like a defogger or something?
So ozone has been proven to kill viruses, different viruses in the past. There's been some study on SARS and other coronaviruses. There hasn't been any empirical data on COVID-19, but we're assuming based on some of the prior data that it can't hurt. We're not telling our technicians or our customers that we're guaranteeing that this will kill any viruses, but we're saying it's better to be safe than sorry. So we just got them a couple days ago. We're going to put them in the tool room so that when the guys return their tools, if they're taking their tools, then it'll kill it overnight, hopefully. And then we're offering it to the technicians to come in the morning and have it in their vehicle for 30 minutes and kind of zap whatever's in there. I'm not an expert on how well this stuff works, but we figured if it makes the guys feel a little safer and feel better, then that's half the battle, right? We want to make sure they're in a good mindset.
Yeah.
Because if they're scared, the customer is going to be scared. If they're scared, they're lowering their immune system. They're more stressed. They're more likely to get sick from some of the other viruses that are out there too. And we don't want them away from work. If a guy gets sick, he's going to take 2 weeks off because, we don't want somebody coughing and you may not even have the virus.
Yeah.
Right. So we just want to do everything we can to keep our guys calm and
man, good for you. That's like a ton of measures. I'll put them in the notes here on the call, but that's you're sure covering your bases and arming your guys for for battle. It seems like with all these measures you've taken, and I think you're exactly right. It's something that I think needs to come across in our messaging of the brand to assure the homeowner, we know what we're doing. We've taken all these measures and kind of drop the mental barriers down, saying we feel quite comfortable, having Ashton come into our home. It's either what's the lesser of two pains, my plugged toilet or getting this company that's done all these protocols. I'll take the technician in my house. Sounds totally fine.
Yeah, and one of the coaching pieces that we're giving our technicians right now is when you're coming into the home, do a thorough evaluation of their entire system. We always do that. We always give great options. We don't want to leave any stone unturned for the homeowner. We don't like going somewhere and then a week later, something completely unrelated that we had the expertise to identify broke. But the guys are saying, well, right now we can't do that. And I'm like, no, you have to do that now more than ever. Yeah. The reason why is we want to minimize the traffic in their home. If this goes on for longer, we don't want to have somebody come back next month.
Yeah.
Right? We want to take care of this for them now. So if we take the measures right now and we do a good evaluation, we can prevent having to come back later. So I think that's an important piece.
Yeah, man. I think, one detailed visit is now more important than ever, getting it all in one shot. And one thing we've done too is our clients get an email the day of at 6 a.m. when they're scheduled for their job to happen. We've listed all our revised procedures we've done so that we're cleaning outside. It's a little bit different than going in the home, but we've gotten a lot of positive feedback, clients saying, so happy to see you taking these measures. I feel confident, go ahead and do the work. So I think it's been really good that way as well, just assuring clients we're taking these measures to stay safe.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that too. We started taking really strict measures with our installations because the guys were going to be there all day and there was going to be multiple of them there. We want to make sure those guys are protected, but also the homeowners, because we're going to be moving all over the house in that situation. Yeah. But we started making those as contactless as possible. So all of our payments have been done before we arrive. The guys aren't doing any interacting with the homeowner. They're leaving the doors open if they can for us and keeping to one side of the house. And people have been really appreciative. We've actually ended up getting some sales that we didn't think we were going to get because we had these measures in place. So
nice. And what a time too for leveraging technology now. You said you've got the credit card payments, obviously the phone. You said FaceTime, or maybe they hop on a Zoom call with the client. There's a lot of things I think can be utilized to continue to operate through this time.
Yeah, during the first 2 or so weeks of it, we were kind of like, oh, let's cancel all meetings. Let's, nobody meet up in person. And that was the right call. But we got away from communication. And this is not the time to get away from communication. Yeah. We thought, we'll send out a daily email and that should, make them feel at ease. Well, the last thing these guys want to do after being out all day and scared is read an email. Yeah. And so they weren't reading the emails. They're exhausted. They want to go home to their families. And so they weren't reading the emails. So we've started video messaging, recording podcasts, like short podcasts, sending those out, and then meeting again weekly. And last week we did a training with 200 technicians across the United States, and we met every morning at 7 a.m. with them, and we shared, war stories together every day, and that really elevated the mood and got everybody, like, wow, that guy over there in Illinois is going through the exact same thing that I'm going through.
Yeah.
Or this guy sold, $50,000 last week and he's in New York State. Like, the guys were like, wow, like people are going through the same thing together and they're finding a way to make it work. So the more we've been able to use Zoom, the better it's been.
Pretty cool. You can borrow confidence from another service provider, across down south in the States or wherever in the world they are. And I was talking to a buddy yesterday, and I actually think we're quite fortunate in BC, given like the leaders we have spearheading this initiative. And I mean, there's states throughout the US that have like a very hard shutdown, lockdown. I think BC is doing like a relatively good job, given not making light of the situation, but I think it could be a lot worse than we have it here.
I think part of that is we got pretty lucky with this. Our spring break was 2 weeks later than Ontario and Quebec. Mm-hmm. We got pretty lucky in that sense. Yeah. But I've been very impressed with all the leaders. I'm won't comment on my political beliefs, but I've enjoyed the way that Justin's handled it, and Bonnie's been great too here. In BC, just every day, constant communication, and they're not overly, like you said, they're not shutting it down completely. They're still allowing some commerce to happen at a safe level and monitoring the situation, and I think that has been really helpful and will hopefully protect our economy.
Totally. Couple of last questions, Connor, kind of finishing up. Obviously you've talked about kind of the history of the company and how it's growing, and you're running this rapidly growing home service division. Where do you see Ashton going, say in the next 2 years, 3 years? What's kind of the outlook, kind of telling the viewers, where do you see the company heading?
So I don't have a crystal ball, but for the next 1 year outlook, what we're thinking is going to happen is we should see a return to normalcy in the sense that most of our competitors will be coming back to work as well. But during that time, there's going to be some movement of technicians. So I think there's going to be a bunch of good talent that's released into the workforce. And we're already seeing it. I'm still hiring right now. I've seen a couple of really good resumes come across my desk in the last day. So I'm hoping to grow coming out of this. So hopefully, the economy is in good enough shape that we can continue to support that growth. But my goal is always the slow 10-mile march. I don't want this massive amount of growth. I had an experience recently where I had tremendous growth, just kind of by happenstance. It happened, and we got a ton of good technicians all of a sudden, and it got really big really fast, and I lost a little bit of control. So my goal is to try and grow maximum 20% in revenue per year for the foreseeable future. And I think for our business, where we're really going to grow is on the plumbing side. I think the HVAC market is steadily increasing, but the plumbing market I see as a bit more of an opportunity because we haven't really scaled that side of our business yet. So I'm going to focus a lot on plumbing, sewer services, water service replacements, repipes, that sort of thing.
Okay, and that's for homeowners largely, or is that kind of okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, mainly in home services. There's a ton of opportunity with the poly B piping that's in people's homes is a huge risk, insurance flood risk, and so we see that as a good opportunity here in Vancouver.
Okay. So you said you guys are still hiring, which is not common for companies right now. So if I'm a licensed plumber, I'm laid off, I'm interested in hearing more about opportunities at Ashton, how would I best get in touch with you guys? Like, what'd be the quickest course to get some answers?
Yeah, so you can email careers@ashtonservicegroup.com or visit ashtonservicegroup.com, and we'll have all of our positions listed there. Okay. And if you're on Indeed or Craigslist, LinkedIn, our positions are there, and also our social channels. We'll be posting them for what we're looking for. But right now, we're open. We're open for business, and we're open to taking a look at anybody that's looking right now. We want to make sure that coming out of this, we find some good technicians, and hopefully we can keep growing as we come out of this.
Okay, and then on the flip side, Connor, if I'm a homeowner sitting around my house, I'm in quarantine, I have a couple of items I want to get done. What's the best way to reach out to you guys? Would I be going on the website as well, or what's the best course there?
Yeah, I mean, phone is the best, 604-283-2383. But you can take a look at our website, and we also have options where you can fill out online forms, and we can get back to you if that's more your style of communication.
Okay, and would that quote be fully done on the phone, or electronically, or would someone come out to the house to quote it?
No, we can do virtual right now if that's something you're interested in. But we still are able to come out and give no charge estimates for projects, and we do charge a $79 diagnostic fee for any of our service calls.
Okay.
But if you're looking to have your furnace replaced or put in AC this summer, we do offer no charge estimates for that stuff.
Okay. Sweet, man. Well, thanks for we're at our time, over our time limit. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know the weekend's going to start soon-ish, but yeah, I wanted to thank you for coming on. I know you guys have been great in answering questions I have, and it's always fun seeing one of your oodles of blue trucks driving around the town. So happy to be referring you guys to our clients, and happy to have the relationship we have. And yeah, man, just thanks for carving time out on, I know you got a lot going on as the manager, so appreciate all your insights for our audience here.
Yeah, no problem at all. And same goes for you guys. We're looking forward to when this is all over, getting our teams together and finding ways to share ideas of how we can pass more business back and forth. And yeah, one last thing before I go, tonight we're hosting our first Zoom party. So our whole company is going on gallery view on Zoom, and we're gonna all have cocktail hour tonight after we clap for the healthcare workers at 7. So it's kind of an interesting idea. I think we stole that from somebody, but if anybody else out there wants to steal that, it's a good idea. Everybody's talking about it today, looking forward to it. So
yeah. Who buys the drinks then, or is it BYOB?
Well, we're giving everybody $30 on their next paycheck, and we're encouraging people to buy local through like Uber Eats or DoorDash or something like that.
Man, that's amazing. I really like that initiative. If I was one of your guys, I would be pretty stoked to have that, even if it was a monthly thing or every 2 weeks or something. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, no, it's the first time we're doing it, and hopefully it goes well. We'll let you know.
Sounds good, man. Well, thanks again for your time, and thanks to our listeners for watching and following along here. So we'll let you run, Connor, and thank you again, my man.
Yeah, take care, Dick.
See you later.
Yeah, I know.